Hello, students. I hope you all are fine and doing well at your home. I, Kumari Swati, biology teacher, I would be today telling you certain things about energy flow and food chain, food web from chapter Our Environment, episode 1. So, the major prerequisites for life to exist on Earth include continuous supply of nutrients to the living world and appropriate quantum and quality of energy to keep the biochemical process ongoing. So far, we have looked at many of these processes, but in this unit, we'll try to understand that what is the ultimate source of energy for life to thrive on our planet? The answer is very simple. It's sun. Yes, but how? Does sun's energy gets utilized into ecosystems and then their processes? How do various elements of ecosystems get their energy? Is there too much or too little energy available? How do the natural systems maintain energy balance? These are the some questions which we will be discussing in this episode. On completion of the episode, you should be able to understand the energy flow in ecosystem, the food chain, and their major type. You would also be able to appreciate links between nutrient cycles and energy flow, ecological significance of these processes. First, let's understand energy flow. It is fact that any kind of work process will either require or release energy. Thus, if we want to study the functioning or the working of an ecosystem, we must understand the basic principles and laws of thermodynamics in an ecosystem context. So, the first law of thermodynamics says that energy may be transformed from one type to another type, but is neither created nor destroyed. Second law states that no energy transformations are 100% efficient. That means energy is always being transformed from a more useful to a less useful form. Third, under natural conditions, energy tends to flow from higher level to lower level. So, the ecological implications of these laws is that energy cannot be produced in an ecosystem from nowhere. Thus, we can say that productivity of ecosystem we refer to transformation of one form of energy, say solar energy, into another, like organic form in plant bodies. Secondly, transfer of energy from one organism to other is never 100% efficient. That is, all energy transformation always involves some energy loss in the form of heat energy that is not available to the organism. The amount of loss may vary from one transformation process to another transformation process. Let's analyze the energy flow in an ecosystem. The ultimate source of energy for all ecosystem is sun. The energy that enters the Earth's atmosphere as heat, light is balanced by the energy that is absorbed by biosphere, plus the amount that leaves the Earth's surface as invisible heat radiation. So, when solar energy strikes Earth, it tends to be degraded into heat energy. Only a very small part, 10% of this energy gets absorbed by green plants and subsequently transformed into food energy. The food energy then flows through a series of organisms in ecosystem. All organisms, dead or alive, are potential source of food for the organism. A grasshopper eats grass, a frog eats grasshopper, a snake eats frog, and is in turn eaten by peacock. So this is one example to understand that how energy flows in an ecosystem. When these creatures die, they are all consumed by decomposers, that is bacteria and fungi. Now let's talk about food chain. In an ecosystem, a sequential chain of eating and being eaten is called food chain. It is the process which determines how energy moves from one organism to another within the ecosystem. In the food chain, energy is transformed from one organism to another. Ideally, this transfer or flow of energy from sun to green plants, then to herbivores and carnivores should be 100% efficient. But in reality, it doesn't happen because at each link in a food chain, 80 to 90% of energy transfer is lost as heat. It is because of this loss that fewer individuals are found at each successive level of food chain. This is also the fact that limits the number of levels in the food chain. All organisms which are part of food chain and may be part of more than one. Food chain usually consists of producer, primary consumer, secondary consumer, tertiary consumers, and decomposers. Every organism in an ecosystem can be assigned a feeding level referred to as trophical level. A trophic level consists of those organisms in food chain that are the same number of steps away from original source of energy. I repeat, every organism in an ecosystem can be assigned a feeding level which is referred as trophic level. You can understand it through example. Green plants would be grouped in the first trophic level, which are producers. Herbivores in the second trophic level, which are primary consumers. Carnivores in the third trophic level, which consists of secondary consumer, and so on. A trophic level consists of those organisms in food chain that are the same number of steps away from the original source of energy. I hope you have understood that what is food chain, how energy flows in an ecosystem. Thank you.